Are you struggling in this new year to come up with cool local content for your radio station website? Well, today we have a doozy for you. A group in Kansas has come up with a unique idea called the bucket list. Best ways that you can do user-generated content is to do the things that are around you locally. And one station is really knocking it out of the park, so much so that I ran across their website and I'm like, okay, you guys have to be on the podcast. I'm talking about the Four Counties bucket list on cowleypost.com/bucket list. And we have Sadie Spurlock and Steve Lundgren. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having us, Jim.
Thanks. Absolutely. So give us a little bit, before we get into the bucket list here, give us a little bit about your market, your stations, and cowleypost.com.
I'll let you do that.
Is that me?
That's you.
Well, we're located in southern Kansas, right on the Kansas and Oklahoma border. We're about 25 minutes north of Ponca City, Oklahoma, which is about 50,000 people. We have KSOK radio, of which has 95.9, which is a Bob FM format. It's a 15,900 watt station, and it really covers our four-county area. We also have 1280 AM, which is we call KSOK, and that simulcasts on a translator over to 103.3 FM. So we kind of have three different signals going out there, but we kind of view ourselves as a regional radio station rather than just a local. We've got a competitor in town that's less wattage, so they handle more local, probably as much as we do, but we really reach out. So in marketing, we opened up our box a little bit, and from day one, and said, okay, we're going to work down in Ponca. We're going to, there are Ponca people that would like to bring Ark City people down, and there are Ark City people that would love to bring Ponca City up. So we kind of just tried to cover that whole range. So everything we've done, we've looked at it as a regional situation. So I think that best describes us. We bought this station about 3 years ago, and knew nothing about the radio business. I came out of the Chevrolet business, so I'm a little familiar with marketing websites, because we had to evolve into that. But Sadie's just taken our website and just run with it, and came to me a year and a half ago on we got the normal website with the purchase. But they really weren't doing much with it. You could tune in, listen to them, that kind of stuff. But we decided to be that newspaper and be the sports news and everything, really go after it. And our numbers have exceeded our local newspaper online reading. And so Sadie came to me one day with, I love their imagination. Dad, if we really put advertising on this, we could maybe, make, 24,000 a year. There's money we didn't have.
Yeah.
And just to let you know where that's gone, my end of year is this year. So 23, we put 59,000 gross on the books on this website. And that's all because of this young lady right here. And some creative ideas that Matthew, her husband, had. By the way, my daughter, so I'm proud of her.
Family business.
And David Gregg, who's one of my sales rep, they've kind of come up with some ideas, and they get creative that where old guys like me, I just can't see that. I'm dollars and cents, and let's go out and hammer this guy and hit his head on the table and get him to sign a contract. And they're saying, hey, there's way more to it out there. And
you're more friendly than that.
Yeah. But the income's been great. To let you know, I think how important it is. I went into 2023, obviously an election year, 2024, concerned that we'd see some economic issues, and I'm sure we probably have in the radio business. I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been in it, but we dropped about 10%, which would represent about $30,000 or probably about $40,000 worth of sales in 2024. But we picked it right back up with $57,000 worth of sales in website. So my point is, we're able to weather that storm, and that's just good cash money that comes in. I don't think we have hardly any accounts on our website now that are under 6 months. So we tell them we want a 1 year. And so anyway, the rest is up to her. She's been coming up with the creative ideas, and that's where this bucket list came from. And I'll let her tell you about that when you're ready to talk. So.
Well, yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Cali Post, because one of the things that we have really tried to hammer here on the podcast is having a website that is more than just a listen live button and that sort of thing, and like the website that you had before, and having a local news, events, and destination that people can go to on a regular basis. What kind of news content are you putting on this site?
Well, I hired a guy by the name of Shane Farley. For the unique thing about us right now is we're not all automated. I have a morning show. I have 2 guys on there. That's what makes us different than the other guys, because we are talking daily about what's going on downtown in Arc City, Ponca, the whole 9 yards. So I opened our news up to the regional area. So we carry Ponca City news, we carry Wichita news if we need to, Wellington, Kansas, about a 1 hour radius. And so I hired him to handle news, and he does a great job. He used to be in the news business with our local newspaper. And the unique thing about us is there can be, let's use a fender bender downtown. We'll be one of the first on the scene because we've obviously got it off the scanner. We go down, we shoot the picture. He comes back up, gets the details from the police department, boom. We have that information online in probably less than an hour and a half. Where the newspaper is just 2 times a week. So you're 3 days before they're going to know about it.
And obituaries.
And obituaries, yeah. Well, exactly.
10 minutes after they're submitted, they're on the website. Whereas in a newspaper situation, you'd be waiting days before.
That's right.
So we're doing local and regional news, but it does take a guy. But I think we've obviously paid for that. We do local and regional sports.
You do state news.
We do state news,
and
then a little bit of national. I think, an ABC feed on there right now, and that contract's getting ready to expire, and I'm probably going to change the feed, but we'll still have it on there. So, long story short, it did take some staff, but it's made us more of a media company, I think, than just a radio company, because I think. Radio's already getting hit in the chops. And so what can you do as a station to build that? And I think, the kids have done a really great job with us.
That's fantastic. So if another radio owner out there is considering adding, they're thinking in their mind, oh my gosh, I got to hire somebody. You think it's worth it?
Well, I suppose that depends on the region. If you're in the city and you've got 35 stations right there, you're all fighting for the same stuff. We are more in a rural area, so we don't have maybe the radio competition that they would have. But could that be that niche? Here's what I have found in radio: Cali Post brings people to our radio, and radio brings people to our Cali Post. So we're all intertwined. The other thing we've been studying is to just have a website with your main page. We're finding out that 66%, I believe that was the number we got last, 66% of the people that read our news articles come from getting it on our Facebook, on our mobile app. So an obituary comes up, click. A car accident comes up, click. And then that's bringing them to our landing pages on our website, bypassing the front main page. So you got to kind of have all of them, I think, working together. And again, I give the credit to the kids. They've done all that. They come and tell me about it later. And I look good, but I didn't really have anything to do with it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. No, and the website looks good as well. You can tell that that there are a lot of ads on there, so the ad it's really making money. I think you're doing it perfectly. Perfectly. Absolutely.
Looking to maximize your radio station's digital presence? Skyrocket Radio delivers custom websites and mobile apps built exclusively for radio stations by radio professionals. Our websites engage listeners and drive revenue, while the integrated apps keep your audience connected wherever they are. It's a complete digital solution designed to boost your station's reach and ad sales. To take your station's online experience to the next level, visit skyrocketradio.com.
All right, Sadie, so how did this bucket list come about?
Well, I have 3 young kids, and anytime we go anywhere outside of Ark City, like Dad said, we're kind of in a rural part of Kansas. The first thing I always do when we go somewhere new is I get out my phone and I Google things to do in Kansas City, things to do in Oklahoma City, because I'm looking for the sites and the activities and experiences that I want to take our family. And so, this kind of came about to solve, I have my notes here, to solve 3 problems that I see in rural Kansas. Number 1 is people thinking that there's nothing to do here. And you hear that all the time, like, we don't live in Wichita or Kansas City or something like that. You hear people saying, there's just nothing to do in Ark City. There's nothing to do in Winfield. There's nothing to do. And you get kind of tired of hearing it after a while, because we do live in a really great place. So changing that stigma of the small town and the rural community is one. The other thing is getting people to support local businesses, because we have personally, since we've been in this small business and we work with businesses who are trying to advertise, and we've seen a lot of people have to bow out because they're not making ends meet. In just the 3 years that we've been doing this, we've seen several businesses open and close in the amount of time that we've just been doing the radio, and it's really sad. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, how can we get people to support local more, and to go explore these unique businesses and things that we have to do. So there's the second thing. And then the third thing is we also have mom and pop shops, the small business that maybe they can't afford to buy one of our prime spots for advertising on Cali Post. Maybe they can't buy a $2.99 a month spot. It's not in the budget. How can we, because ultimately our heart is for enhancing the local community. That's one of our core values that we have in our mission statement, is we want to uplift our community. And so how can we provide advertising opportunities to these small businesses that may not be able to afford a larger advertising budget? So our thought was, I don't even know, I just say it was a divine idea, because I was just sitting in my office one day and I was maybe planning a trip for the kids, and I was like, things to do in Kansas City, and I was just like, why don't we have something like that for our 4 counties? And so I thought to myself, I wonder if I could just put a bucket list on the website just for fun, and link people's Facebook pages, and just try to get people out in the community doing stuff. Well, as I told Dad this idea, he was thinking, yes, but how does it pay for itself? And how can we, make money on this? Because, he's always thinking the dollars and cents, which is great because it pays my bills. But so we put our heads together and we came up with sort of a structuring system. And if you go look at it now, there's not a ton of sponsorships on there yet. There's a few because we just launched this, 8 days ago. But we have.
And to answer the question, I think we went out and we pre-sold.
Yes.
People telling here's what's coming. Mm-hmm. I think we pre-sold about $2,000 on this page. Mm-hmm. And my goals for this is $2,500 to $3,000 per county.
Per county.
Right.
So I think that's legitimate, reasonable. Mm-hmm. And when you look at it, the other thing Sadie came up with, well, and I think David helped on this too, is if you look at that website, and we've got different categories of the advertising, but the very bottom, which is $35, is unlimited on the bottom. So we can fill that. We can fill that forever. Yeah. So we're finding people that say, hey, I don't really need the advertising, but I do support this, and if it helps fund it, I'm in. Mm-hmm. And I'm like saying, so you want to throw money at us on this, So we'll take it. But everything she does on this site, on her whole website, to be honest, is linked to their website. So
or Facebook.
Facebook. So coming from the Chevrolet business, I was always looking at how can I get people to knock on my door electronically, because that's basically what it is. Mm-hmm. And the question is, are you internally going to be set up to answer the door or not? And I've got guys on our website that have had probably 600 clicks to their web, but never responded because they're just not internally set up to handle it. But here's a deal where the advertising, I think, is unlimited. We have primary title page sponsors on each page. Then we go down a notch. There's mid-level. Then we go down another notch. There's 4 available there, and then the $35 is unlimited. But what is just really cool is there's no limit in sight as to what all, I call them buckets, what all buckets we can put on this, because it could be anything from, hey, have you tried the best burger in Winfield? And then you link, they're on there for free.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm getting at. So
they're
all
there
these
for free.
people are jumping on. The other thing I did is I went out and I got my 4 main towns, I got our Chamber of Commerce on board on those. Well, they thought every one of them thought it was the greatest in the world, and then they said, well, I've got a list of people we need to put on there. And then bam. So
they're giving them to us,
They're giving
saving
to
us
us.
some of the legwork. Yeah.
Right. So, all we've got to do is go out and sell the advertising, and the buckets, the things to do are filling themselves.
Yeah.
So.
And we also are linking this to our social media because our Facebook has about 14,000 followers. So I've done several posts like, hey, are you a Wellington native? What's your favorite thing in Wellington? Or what's your favorite thing in, Butler County or whatever it is? And people submit on Facebook and I pull them off there. We're also going to link with Facebook so that when people complete bucket list items, they email us photos and then we're going to post them on our social media. And then the people who we're giving free advertising to on the bucket list, one of them is my favorite Mexican restaurant in town. They have an amazing burrito ramen. So we're going to be asking businesses, hey, would you throw in a $15 gift card? We're giving you all this free advertising. Would you throw in a $15 gift card? We're going to give it away on social media to get more people going there and get more engagement. The last fun thing we came up with for it is I created this flyer that says, I'm on the 4 counties bucket list, and then it has a QR code, and we're giving them out to all the businesses that are listed to hang in there on their windows or bulletin boards or whatever. So when people go visit them, they're going to be like, what's the 4 counties bucket list? You're on there, and then scan the QR code, which will take them then to Cali Post to the website. So that's kind of how we have it all rotating between each other.
And I think your original concept, and David had a vision of this too, was we're not really robbing from counties. You've now got Butler County, which is north of us, who's saying, gee, there's nothing to do here. And all of a sudden something in Cali County now pops up. You have somebody in Cali County saying, gee, there's nothing to do here. But then they find out, we haven't been to the museum down in Ponca.
Yeah.
Boom, it's on there. And so we're bringing people from one county, yet we're sending people from our county up. So it's a win on top of everything for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many wins in this one that it's just crazy. So, all right. So this list that you have on there, you say you got some of the lists from the chambers. Are you getting this list from listeners as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we're out asking for it, and they're popping them. Your original deal was right on our Facebook, and you started getting people saying, hey, have you tried this hamburger? Hey, go see this. Or have you seen the new park that was just put in Augusta, Kansas? Things that people don't think about going and doing. So, yes, we've got to beat those streets more and more and more, but I didn't want to spend our energy building the buckets. I wanted my sales crew's energy getting the dollars. And so we got it set up where the bucket's kind of building itself. And we're just now going, matter of fact, next week, we're going to start across the border down in K County. I've got 1 or 2 people in there now, but we'll start building that. We haven't built that bucket yet, but I've got a meeting with the chamber this week, and she's ready to jump on board with getting us information of things to go see. So I guess my dream was, 75 to 100 buckets in each county, and all those linked to their individual websites. So I'm sitting here thinking, geez, those people are going to be talking about us. And then the radio is just the connection there with it.
Yeah.
So.
And we've thought about since we have a live morning show, we're kind of toying with once a week we're going to actually talk about what's the bucket list item for this week. Hey, this week, have you been over to the National Depression Glass Museum in Wellington? It's free. Take the family over and, grab a coffee while you're over there. So I want this to have more. Right now we're running ads on the radio for it, asking people to, go check it out or whatever. But I want to talk about it more and make it more of a staple on our live show as well. So we will be incorporating that too.
Yeah, I think this is. I just can't get over it. I mean, this is an amazing idea, and I hope more radio stations are, listening to this, and will want to do that, to do this in their markets or whatever. I could see you can take this off to where you print this out and you go and you check them off, or you do some sort of online form where how many have you done, or
yes, I love that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or even gamify it and put likes beside each one, and then maybe the one with the most likes gets a prize on I don't know, or something like that. I love that.
There's so many fun things that we can do, and yes, making a printable PDF is my next. Once we get everything kind of full, that's my next thing I want to do. So
and from the sales end, and I go back to that because that's what I'm about. But from the sales end, I just haven't had a person look at it and said, we think this is cool. A prime example, we just signed a contract, 1 year, mind you. Again, I'm going after 1 year contracts. I don't even talk to people unless they're on for 12 months. Right. So where's the confidence there, right? But we just signed a casino south of town, and they took top sponsorships in all 4 counties. Boom, there they are. Yeah. And we were just looking at their clicks, and they've only been up and running.
Well, that was on our other ads, but yeah.
Oh, that's right, yep. On the other ads, but. Because of the bucket list we just now launched.
Yeah.
But they're already seeing traffic on the bucket list, and we're not even sending people there yet.
Yeah.
So now what we've got to find out is how creative can we get on sending people to the bucket list link, and that's our next phase on this. So I'm sure she'll figure it out. That's what she's paid for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully the community that listens to this podcast can reach out to you and give you ideas on that, and so it becomes better for everybody.
Yeah.
So roughly, how many visitors do you get to Cali Post on a monthly basis? Just roughly.
Oh,
you know that?
I think you'll blow your mind. Let's talk impressions.
Okay.
That's kind of my only
Let's talk
gauge in front of
impressions,
me.
and you're going to die when you hear this. Go ahead. Give him the number.
Well,
for last year.
Oh, what was it? Let me find it. Sorry, Jim.
I about fell over.
Yeah, Dad almost lost
I about
it.
fell over.
It was when I looked at our counts for last year.
And the people in your regional area, roughly how much? How many?
Well, if we include Ponca, I'm going to say probably 70,000, 75,000 in our regional area.
Not that much, okay.
Yeah. It's not huge. Well, I can tell you the number, Sadie.
Okay.
We went over.
You tell me.
We went over 3 million.
It might have been.
3 million. Yeah.
That was for the year, or
that was for a year. Now I quit looking in October, so I don't have any idea what October.
There was a lot.
So that's people that actually clicked into the site in some form or fashion, and so I look at it like the old days. If I've got an ad on
oh, I'm sorry, 2024 was 11,692,939 impressions.
Sorry, so I don't even know what we're doing. I decided
6,792 clicks for 2024.
You need to sell those numbers. Yeah.
Well, and here's the neat thing is we're able to hand back our client their impression count every month, and we give them their click rate. Because like I tell them in the car is where the rubber meets the road is, okay, that's nice, but how many went to my website?
Yep.
And so if someone's not getting it, then we've got to discuss, is it the content on the ad? What's not driving that? And a lot of our ads, some are very inexpensive because they don't get as many impressions. Mm-hmm. And some of them are more expensive because they get high impressions. And so I think I learned that from you, to be honest with you. So the impressions are nice, and that sounds like a great number, but if we really want to be effective for the client, is how many are we putting to their website? And that's kind of what we concentrate on. So, but yeah, somebody told me over 3 million.
That was on one of our ads.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that.
One ad spot. Yeah.
And that was on one ad spot, and the dude doesn't have a website.
Yeah, which is
Wow.
Yeah, that's like,
What?
I'm also hooked up with a web company that we can build small businesses websites. I know one here, but I've talked to you about it, and some of them aren't big enough that's probably worth your time. But I got a little guy off the side will build it, and here's one where I said, dude, just spend a couple grand, have a website, we're getting them to you, but you're not answering the door. They're knocking on the door, and
Yep.
so. It's the old. You can only take the horse to the water trough so often. If they don't drink, they don't drink.
So this is amazing. I cannot wait to see the progression of this, how it goes. And is this going to be a staple on the website, or is this just a seasonal event?
Oh, I hope it's.
I think it's
forever.
going to be. I think it's going to be a forever deal. I'll be honest. We've kind of designed Cali Post that, as one day I age out of this thing. I'm 63, and if we have to sell it, we sell it, whatever. But I think Cali Post is something I can just take with me, and because it's actually standing on its own 2 feet, and it could employ people. So whether it be this young lady and I turn it over to her, whatever, that's her choice. But I think bucket list is going to be a staple because I see it just growing. I think it becoming that one item that's just going to probably be the staple of our website. I look for it. I look for it to do, like I said, if we can get it to the numbers, and we've never not had a number that we've had a goal for something and not hit it. So I think if we can get it to 10,000 a month or something, just on the website alone, there's an additional $120,000 coming this year.
On one page.
Or in another 12 on one link to that site. So
Yeah, absolutely.
and they can and you can sit there and say, oh yeah, you can dream all you want. But let me tell you this: when these kids came to me with the whole website concept a year and a half ago, like I said, my thoughts are, yeah, we can probably get it up to a couple of $1,000s, and I just brought our projections, and we're at 6,300 booked in sales, and that goes out for the next year. So we're going to do nothing but build on top of that. So I think it's,
and that's per month.
Yeah, that's per month. That's per month. Well, again, that's an income that this station hasn't had, for 20 years. So. I think it's real important. So hats off to her and David for those guys thinking about it. But and that's the advantage of hiring, I guess, younger people. They can think outside the box that we no longer can.
That's right. Well, you guys have done an amazing job with this. Look, if anybody wants to know more about this, connect with you guys individually, how can they reach out to you? I guess calipost.com.
Yeah, well, they could just email me. You can email us through the website, the contact us, or my email is just Sadie, SADIE @ksokradio.com, and I'll answer any questions for it. So.
And I'm the same thing, only with a Steve in front of it. So.
All right, fantastic. Sadie and Steve, thank you so much for being on the podcast, and best of luck in this bucket list campaign. I cannot wait to see the progression as it goes, and I can't wait to see hear how much more revenue it brings to Cali Post in the days to come.
Well, I thank you as an owner for helping these
Jim.
kids set it up, because I know it's been a year and a half process, and
Jim answers all my
involved in it
questions
all the way,
all the time.
And we couldn't have done it without you. Now that doesn't mean raise my bill.
No. Not gonna do that.
Jim commission on all of this.
That's right. All right, you guys have a great one. Thank you so much.
Good luck to everybody out there.
It's so awesome to talk to Sadie and Steve today. Hopefully this information has helped you and given you some ideas, if maybe not the bucket list, maybe something along those lines to create more local content on your radio station website. Because as you heard Steve say, the content brings them in and the revenue is just sure to follow. Don't miss out on that important point. It's the point that we try to make every week here on Better Radio Websites, but it's so awesome to hear a owner and a general manager and sales manager actually make that statement that the revenue, it's certainly well worth the time to invest in your radio station website. Hey, if we can help you with yours, that's what we're here for. Reach out to us at skyrocketradio.com. Have an awesome week online making your radio station website better. We'll see you next time.